The past weekend was a challenging one for President Trump. Melania is reportedly not sharing a bed with him, while Stormy Daniels is causing him trouble. Even Jimmy Kimmel is not letting him off easy. Furthermore, it appears that even his most loyal MAGA supporters are beginning to distance themselves from him. This is evident from the recent campaign rally in Wildwood, New Jersey, where Trump made some ridiculous comments.
On Saturday in Wildwood, New Jersey, and you see it right there that the MAGA supporters who attended this event started leaving in the middle of Donald Trump's speech. How humiliating, how embarrassing. The crowd began thinning. People began walking back to the boardwalk while Donald Trump was ranting and raving.
Many people who attended the gathering couldn't bear to stay until the end, and even some MAGA followers left. That's a clear indication of how terrible Trump's speech was that night. At first, the rally appeared to be a massive triumph. As Trump took the stage, he was addressing an enormous crowd, something that hadn't been seen at his speeches in some time. The media had been buzzing all morning about the throngs of people that had swarmed Wildwood Beach just a few hours earlier. Folks from all over the East Coast drove up in pickup trucks, adorned with Trump flags and license plates. Some media outlets even claimed that around 100,000 individuals were on the beach lounging and listening to Trump's rant.
Election. Donald Trump chose the famous Wildwood Boardwalk as a campaign backdrop this afternoon. Town officials estimate the crowd at 80,000 people packing the sand.
Off his face all day long, Saturday was a memorable day in Wildwood, as Trump held his first campaign event there since announcing his bid for re-election in 2020. It's safe to say that his supporters were thrilled to see him again, and he didn't disappoint. Trump used his Twitter account to express his feelings and showcase his best qualities, while also sharing some jokes about judges and his own legal troubles. He covered a variety of topics, including the economy, college protests, and President Biden's border policies. Although some of the things he said were familiar, the crowd was still captivated by his words. Trump was clearly pleased with the turnout, and he wore a smile on his face all day long.
And there's nowhere else I'd rather be this beautiful evening. It is a nice one, right? Than right here on the Jersey Shore at the world-famous Wildwood Boardwalk. Great place, with thousands of proud, hardworking American.
As per reports, Trump's fans were highly enthusiastic. They caused damage to the streets of Wildwood while selling mementos from the event. A few of them even slept on the boardwalk to secure their spot in the queue to catch a glimpse of him. The atmosphere was tense yet thrilling, with everyone anticipating an eventful night. It was expected that something out of the ordinary would occur.
Says Trump, it's usually a significant. Yeah, definitely. It's a wave bigger than what we get in the summer on Big.
After waiting for hours, some die-hard Trump supporters lost their patience at 5 p.m. The crowd was a mix of interesting characters, with Trump running late as usual. They shouted USA to pass the time, but things took a turn for the worse when Biden supporters arrived around midday. Someone in the audience yelled for Trump and cursed those who took the stage to fill in the time. Finally, around 6 p.m., British soldier Christian Crad took the stage to offer something different, but the audience interrupted, demanding Trump. This behavior is typical of those who attend Trump rallies, the ones who aren't going anywhere like he is. However, Trump's arrogant smile was soon wiped off his face when people began leaving in droves during his speech. By the time he finished, only a few stray spectators remained.
He's a corrupt and really a corrupt district attorney who's allowed crime in the city to go totally unchecked. They had the other day, they had like
It's true that Trump once bragged about having larger crowds than Bruce Springsteen. However, it quickly became apparent that most of the seats in front of the main stage were empty. Trump was not oblivious to the situation, but instead of acknowledging it, he pretended not to notice when a reporter asked if he had seen the crowd leaving. Trump even went as far as to claim that no one was leaving, despite the evidence to the contrary. It's a bit presumptuous to declare that his supporters will never leave, especially when we witnessed it happening right in front of us. When people start to leave, it's a clear sign that it's time to call it quits.
Trump is claiming during the speech that he hasn't noticed anybody leaving. Projection much here. We see people also leaving in the front seating section as well, even people in the front.
Perhaps you're curious about the experience of those who eagerly waited for hours and traveled great distances to attend the event. Trump rallies are known for their peculiar occurrences, almost as if they exist in an alternate reality. The opening song was America the Beautiful and featured a man painting the American flag live on stage. He then revealed an image of a fit Donald Trump wearing a jersey with the number 47, which seemed to serve as a prelude. The energy in the room skyrocketed once Trump finally took the stage. Trump's supporters leaving the gathering after his speech was hardly a surprise. Not only were his words shocking, but it was even more concerning that he couldn't string together a coherent sentence for most of his address. It's unclear whether he had too much to drink or if someone had slipped him something, but his stumbling and incoherent rambling made it difficult to understand him. Even when people created transcripts of his speech, his comments still made no sense. It's no secret that Trump's speeches are often nonsensical, and this one was no exception. But don't take our word for it. See for yourself.
By Biden. Carried out by That's right, all being done by him. Carried out by radical. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
During a period of mental clarity, Trump gave a campaign address that was chaotic, unstructured, and full of profanity. He spoke for almost 90 minutes, and it was a challenging experience. The audience was particularly vocal in their disapproval when Trump criticized Biden for the rising cost of everyday items such as gas, hamburgers, hot dogs, and bacon during the first part of his speech. However, there were moments when he managed to surprise us with his delivery. If you can decipher the intended message of a specific part of his speech, you will be rewarded.
And finally, Donald Trump thanks all of the justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. Let me show you this clip. Play it.
So I want to just thank the 6 Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito.
During his recent speeches, former President Donald Trump made a conscious effort to propagate several false claims regarding his administration's achievements. He went as far as to assert that the current administration under President Biden has worsened the state of affairs in the country. Trump's motivation for this could be attributed to the fact that a vast majority of Americans are concerned about the state of the economy. In a bid to gain support, Trump continuously harped on about how he had witnessed an increasing number of individuals leaving the country while he was on the campaign trail. Despite these claims, however, the reality remains that the country has been grappling with a host of economic challenges in recent times. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant and far-reaching impact on the economy, leading to job losses and widespread financial hardship. While the previous administration did take some steps to address these issues, many experts argue that more could have been done to alleviate the suffering of the American people. In contrast, President Biden has made it clear that addressing the current economic crisis is one of his top priorities. He has proposed a range of measures aimed at providing much-needed relief to struggling Americans, including direct cash payments, enhanced unemployment benefits, and increased funding for small businesses. These steps have been widely welcomed by many Americans who have been hit hard by the pandemic and are struggling to make ends meet. In conclusion, while Trump's claims about the state of the economy may have resonated with some voters, the reality is that the country is facing significant economic challenges that require urgent attention. President Biden's administration has taken bold steps to address these issues, and it remains to be seen whether these measures will be enough to get the country back on track.
Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter. Congratulations.
Christopher Columbus is often lauded as one of the most celebrated explorers of all time. However, despite his numerous achievements, Columbus was not without his fair share of mistakes. Some of these errors were minor while others were major, and they have contributed to the controversy surrounding his legacy. One of the most commonly known geographical inaccuracies that Columbus made was his belief that he had reached the East Indies when he landed in the Caribbean. In reality, he had discovered the New World, which was a completely unknown landmass at the time. This error has been criticized for perpetuating the myth that European explorers were the first to discover America, erasing the contributions of indigenous peoples. However, Columbus also made other, less well-known mistakes. For example, during his voyages, his followers would often leave and re-enter the venue at the same time. This may seem like a small detail, but it speaks to Columbus's lack of organization and leadership skills. When his crew members were not following a clear set of guidelines, it led to confusion and chaos, which could have been disastrous in more serious situations. Overall, while Columbus is often celebrated for his achievements, it is important to acknowledge his mistakes as well. By examining his errors, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of exploration and the ways in which our perceptions of history can be shaped by biases and inaccuracies.
Are hearing, oh, our economy, his job numbers are fake. They're totally fake. They're fixed numbers. They're rigged numbers. Everything about them are rigged. From the elections to the economy, everything. And by the way, the one thing that's doing well is the stock market. You know why it's doing well? Because I'm leading in every single poll, and people think we're gonna...
Please share your thoughts on our content in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out our previous episode by clicking the link provided. Looking forward to hearing from you and sending my best regards.